Okay, that should be recording. Gosh, I've never done this in English. Did this a lot in Chinese about 10 years ago. I hope the microphone is picking me up. Here I am, and I'm gonna color this, and it's I don't know. It's kind of difficult for me to talk and draw at the same time. So please bear with me. I'll get started here, and then once I get kind of a rhythm going, I guess I can explain more of what I'm doing. Okay, so what I guess what pick my flesh tone here. Make sure that's what I had planned to do. I actually started rendering this a little bit. You can see my the remnants of the previous render, and like I got like 20 minutes into it, and I posted a thing to X, and I said, I don't know, should I record this? And Patty said, yeah, you should record it. Okay, I'll do it. So I'll start over. So I deleted it all. I was gonna do because this is Kim. This is Kim from Virtue Signal the game, and from POZ, and from Civil War 2. She's in all my properties. She's my one of my stable of characters, I suppose. And her deal is that she's violent. She's super violent, right? And her main weapon is fire. Canonically, she is Vietnamese. I guess I started. I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. I guess what. Oh, right. And because her thing is fire, I thought I'll do it all in fire colors. And I started it, and I had her skin yellow and like the background, and I don't know. I didn't like the way it looked so much, but it doesn't matter because we're working all in vector here, and I'll probably change colors many times. I'll try to keep this interesting by working as I go. My background is in graphic design, mostly fonts and web pages and logo design and stuff like that. And until about, I don't know, 20 years ago, I guess. I had never really, well, I had drawn a lot, like as a child and whatever, like as a hobby. But, I had never done a fully rendered illustration, right? And suddenly, like, I had this client, it was App Annie actually, who is now a Data AI, who hired me and said they needed a character design for their company. And I had never done like a fully rendered character before. And I only ever worked in Illustrator. So I had to work out how to do like a fully rendered character in Illustrator. And at the time, well, there's plenty of people doing it now, but at the time there really wasn't anybody doing that. So I don't know, I had to work out, I guess, like my own way of doing stuff in Illustrator. And I guess I've never... Several times I thought I'd like, well, you know, you should be like everybody else. You should learn how to do it in Photoshop. And I tried that several times. And I get halfway through it and I'd be like, dang, this would be so much easier if I was just an Illustrator. I figured out how to like do the same things. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I have a sketch, which I did in Photoshop. It's tolerable. It's actually better than I normally would do. It's better than I would normally would do because, you know, going into Illustrator, I'm going to redo all of this, right? Which you can see me doing now. Basically, so the sketch is more like a guide. I have it on the top layer here. It's set to transparent and it's locked. And I'm just going to draw, I'm going to recreate the shapes underneath it, like that. And then at the end, I guess, at the end I will add some lines where they are appropriate, which I guess is backwards from the way everybody else does it. So what I'm doing here is the first stage of this is I'm just going to put down shapes. Okay, you can see they're super rough. They're super duper rough, and the colors don't match up, and it looks like a disaster. I'm just going to put down the shapes. Like I'm going to block in all her skin, and then all her clothes. And then once I've done that, I'm going to figure out the colors. You can hear my cats. My wife's cat, actually. So super rough, and I'll just go back and after the colors are blended, which will probably be very tedious for you because I tend to go through like, I don't know, 30, 40 different color combinations before I settle on one. I envy people who can draw and talk at the same time. That is not me. Actually, I had a job for a while, like 10 years ago, like doing this in Chinese, and it's supposed to be like a live stream where you draw and you talk, and not just because it's Chinese. It's, I don't know. I'm using my whole brain to do this. It's very difficult for me to draw and talk at the same time, but I will do my best. Right, so, okay, I'm going to put in her foreshortened calf right there. I'm doing this, I'm doing this with a pen on a Cintiq tablet, and my brush is in my right hand. In my left hand, I have my EK remote, which helps me zoom in, zoom out, undo, redo, and then the function keys. So that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. I do it in pieces because once I take this down, I remove at some point. There's going to be a point in this where I remove the sketch. See, right now it looks pretty good because the sketch is on top and it just looks like color. But at some point I'm going to have to remove the sketch, and it's going to look like a freaking disaster. And I panic for a minute. And it's going to look terrible before it gets tightened up. These are all in pieces because, okay, where was I going with that? Because after I remove the sketch, I'll probably adjust her pose and possibly the length of her limbs and stuff like that. I like doing this way because I don't know. I like the really smooth, the really nice curves you can get with Illustrator here. Right, you can zoom in, like you could zoom this all the way in, and the curve is still perfect. Part that bugs me about using Photoshop is that you'll zoom in to like fix a thing, and it'll be all pixelated and blurry. And I hate that. I hate that so much. Okay, so hair also has to be done in several pieces, so I'm going to lock those and go up here and. Her signature color is blue. Her hair is supposed to be blue, even though in Civil War II it is green because she's on the green team, I think. Isn't she on the green team? I forgot. Yes, I think she's on the green team. So hair also in pieces and also very rough. seam here to let her scalp show through. And basically redoing it. I'm not going to follow the sketch very much. Because after the explaining part, I can speed this up. It's not really. You did your hair, honey. That's terrible. We'll fix all this later. Yeah, see. I had at one point I had many students in Chinese in China, and they get to hear and they'd send it to me. They're like, this doesn't look good. How do I fix it? I'm like, well, honey, you're not done yet. You need to finish it. I guess this layer. Again, super. I'm going to do this in chunks here. Curve there. I don't know. There's some stuff. I don't know. I envy sometimes like the Photoshop guys because they can do things that Illustrator can't do, like complex shadows and stuff like that. And like it has that sketchy looking feeling. Like my favorite inker is Brett Parsons, who does who took over Tank Girl from Jamie Hewlett when he got bored and decided to make music. And it's also natural. It looks very sketchy, like in a good way, and that's very difficult to replicate in Illustrator. But what I can do, which I really like, is curve, corner, curve, corner, curve, corner, like that, which makes it kind of different. You can't do that in Photoshop, not really. I mean, I guess you could. But the curves won't be so nice, and the corners won't be sharp. So this part right here is in front of the face, and after this one we're gonna have to go and do another one. Quiet, cat. I'm recording. And occasionally keyboard that I'm using. This keyboard doesn't have a delete key. It has broken. I have to use them. Another cool thing that I really like is that you can draw a shape like this, and you can go in here to the eraser. I'll do this a bit. Change the pressure and like that, and you can and make shapes this way. And when I do the rendering, I'll be doing that a bit. So if you see, like I just did that with her hair, instead of using right here, instead of using doing the points, I just took the eraser and shave it off like that. Makes it nice. Okay, so then, all right, actually this goes behind, doesn't it? Doesn't matter. That's good. That's good. Okay, lock that. Then I have to go behind her. It's kind of like paper dolls, isn't it? Start here. Get the back of her hair. All the way around. to, oops, where am I? Oops, no, I started there. Durr. This is behind, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't get the 32-inch Cintiq. There's absolutely no reason to have a 32-inch Cintiq. I wish I had gotten the 24. This thing is too big. You notice I have all the tools at the bottom here because I just can't reach this high. Absolutely no reason to have a 32. 24 is just fine. Okay. There's an ear back here that I'll do later, and like the back of her hair back here, which I'll do later. A couple strands of hair here. I suppose I could do that now. Hang on. That one is a chunky blob. Yeah, so like it's very important to me that the visual language, the visual language be consistent throughout the thing. Look at that, I hate that. We get all the pixels, yeah. Not the pixels, all the anchor points. That's good enough for hair. The bow will be another layer, and I guess it'll sit on top. And I'll recombobulate that later. And then the fingers, and then the hands. I usually do hands and feet last, because they're a pain in the butt. I guess everybody has the parts that they like to do and the parts that they don't like to do so much. I like to do the face and the body and the figure. Hands are fine. I don't know. It's not my favorite. Let's see. So in front of the body, behind the hair. I don't know what you want, Cat, but you can't have it. So as before, curve, point, curve, point, curve, point, as appropriate, right? No, kitty. It's actually supposed to be. I pulled these greens over from another, but they're the wrong color. I don't think they're the right color of green, so I'm gonna just have to edit it here in the. In previous illustrations, her top here is a very dark teal, almost black. I was planning to do very bold with the colors this time, but I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out later. I did a draw through once, again in China, and like when I got to drawing the breasts, there's this one dude who just started laughing uncontrollably. like drawing boobs? Dude, I gotta. And then, okay, let's enlarge the eraser here. Smooth that out. And her top's supposed to be ragged, so a little bit ragged because she's a meth head. Put some little divots in there with the eraser, like that. That's good. There's a seam here where your arm does not connect to your body. You need to fix that. Add an anchor point. Drag that down. Okay. Wider than the other. Shrink that down. I'll do the back at some later time. Her shorts. Her shorts and other illustrations are pink. So we'll do pink here. Just to start out. Just to start out. It's going to curve down like curve point, and then I'm going to stop here because her cuff is a different color of pink. So cover the. I'm going to zoom in here because her crotch is what? Denim. That doesn't matter because I'm going to cover that up. And oops. Grab that. Bring that up here. There. I could put a. I'm not going to put a whole lot of detail in this right now. There you go. And then Pathfinder. Pathfinder in Chinese is a 鲁金搜索器. It's very hard to see on camera. Pathfinder is much better. It's the path searcher. Path searcher. Pathfinder is so much easier to say. And then her boots are the. I'm putting this all in one layer. That's probably a bad decision. Again, I'm going to fix all this later. So that looks nice. That looks nice. Sometimes you'll do it really slapdash and you'll come out with a, hey, that shape is much better than the shape that I sketched. I like this curve point. That's nice. Dig that. And then I realized that my path color is the same as my color. That's not good. Change the color. Change it to light green. Easier to see. That looks pretty good. But that's on top, and the other boot has to be on the bottom. So I'm going to make another layer and put the other boot underneath there. Again, lots of detail. Is that the same? Are they the same size? Yes, they are. Good job. Good job, me. You did them both the same size. And then there's this flag, which goes in the back. What's this? That's her hair. So back further than that. A little communist flag, which is going to be in her fist. It's going to be draped behind her, looking very, very dramatic. When I sketch this, it's very lumpy, but it's not going to be lumpy in the render. I'm going to do the same, like curve point, like that. Like there's a point, and these are going to be curved, and here it's going to disappear behind her. Point, curve. This is the corner of the flag, so that has to come to a nice point there. Curve, put a point there. Curve. It disappears behind her head again. Nice place for a point. I don't know. If I were doing this as a class, I would like lecture on composition, right? Composition-wise, I don't know. The method I've always gone with is you want the most detail around the face and around the hands. So like there's a lot of detail because that's close to the hand. You wouldn't want to do that out here because that's distracting. Like every time you have a place of a high contrast or too much detail, right? It's going to draw the eye away. It's going to draw the eye to that place, right? So generally you want the areas of like highest contrast, most detail in the places you want to draw the viewer's attention to. And for most of the time, you want that to be like the face and the hands. Okay. So that's pretty good for now. I'm going to lock that. What do we need to do now? I guess I can go back and do the hands. Usually at this point, what's here? Nothing? I have an empty layer that's locked? Okay. Let me put a background. Of some kind. Not sure. That looks fine. What if we... I'm just going to leave that for now. It just has to be there. It just has to be there. I'll figure out what it is later. Where's her clothes? Here's her clothes. I need to put her belt on. Belt's going to be the same color as her top. Comes to a point here. Nice smooth curve all the way across. And that's a lumpy mess. You made a lumpy mess. I used to not sketch at all. Right. Oops. I used to not sketch at all. I just go into Illustrator and start making stuff. The problem with doing that is, I don't know. At least with me, when I do that, it tends to be the end composition tends to be not terribly detailed, right? If I'm working with the brush, like this is like look what a pain in the butt this is. It's such a pain in the butt, like pulling anchor points. It's fun, but it's also not fun. It's fun seeing like the smooth lines, but it's not a good way to compose when you just have the pen in your hand. Like I don't know, you can like, oh, I can put stuff here and I can put stuff here, and like really quickly ad hoc you just like add things to the thing. I'm gonna have to fix this later, having everything on one layer, but it's fine for now. Grab a lighter color for these cuffs that go around her leg. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, making things that go behind things. Kind of challenging because you have this one shape that goes all the way around, so you gotta, I don't know, I guess it's the same with Photoshop, but see, ordinarily I could just like put the thing behind the leg and you wouldn't and the leg would cover up this seam here, but if I have a shape that goes all the way around, then it has to meet up and be flush, and that's it's not the easiest thing to do that in Illustrator. It's one of the things that bugs me. Add a thing. That's good enough. That meets, there, that meets the leg. There we go. Now let's remove the sketch and panic for a minute. Yeah, see, that looks terrible. Looks not good. Here, I guess that covers up her belt. And goes behind her leg. That is way different than the way I sketched it. I'm not going to do the hands yet. Don't know if I'm super happy. So I'm going to unlock all the layers here. And I'm going to remove the sketch. And see what we got going here. All right. I am going to try. I'll make a copy of this. Out there, keep those colors, and then let's go through and let's recolor this just to see. Okay, let's scooch closer to the mic. Okay, so let's put you let's actually put you group. Let's put you on a layer. I don't want to accidentally grab these colors while I'm recoloring. Let's see if I can read. This is the one I was thinking like this would be a nice color scheme because you got to put the blue in there somewhere because that's like her signature color. But this, not exact. Well, this in some proportion. So it looks like she's in the fire. Probably gonna look terrible for a while, but we're gonna try it out. Grab that. And all the pinks, change it to this color right here. And I was thinking this for the skin, which is between this and that. I think we're gonna need more flesh tone than that. So we're gonna need do some variations on this orange or yellow, I suppose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this. Control D, Control D, Control D. Grab all those, And come here, you. Yellows are tricky. Yellows are tricky because if you go along the like you would with any other color, it just becomes brown, right? That's no good. So with yellows, I usually change the value a little bit, like that. And I'm gonna do the next one, and change the value a bit, not too much. Don't want to get into canary yellow territory. And for the last one, that should be the last one. Then I'll lighten it. I'll add some white. That's pretty good. And then add that to palette. Let's go through and change this gradient. Where's my gradient palette? Where's my gradient palette? Oh, here. And then add a yellow to that. I don't know if this is going to work. This might be terrible. Could be the worst idea I ever had. Okay, I can, but if I do that, then this is absolutely the wrong color for the background. Let's go with something dark and desaturated. Okay. Well, if it's supposed to look like she's in fire, if she's in a fire, then everything's going to have to be yellowish. Everything's going to have to. This is where people start getting bored and checking out. I don't blame you. And then also the hair. What have I done? Oh, right. Fire color? I guess it all has to be orange. There's no other way. That could work. It's not terrible. Then what if I take the background here and then I make it an even deeper orange, if such a thing exists? I think we can work with that. It's not terrible. It's a good baseline. And then, yeah. Let's take the shorts and that. I don't hate that. That's not terrible. I'm surprised. Usually I go through, oh, that looks terrible, and then try again. Like, oh, that looks terrible too. Let's try again. Oh, that looks terrible. 3. This is kind of workable. Her thighs are way too voluptuous here. So now I'm going to go through and before I start adding like detail and lines and shadows and stuff like that, all the shadows or all the shapes have to be, well, decent, not perfect, but decent. also play with the gradient here. One way of separating the like the thigh from the calf from the thigh here is right. So what do we do with the seam? Well, you can leave the seam. That's one way. The seam here. You can try to match the things up exactly. You can put a line across it to cover it. I don't know. Does anybody see this? Anybody besides me? Or, since it has a yellow behind it, I can copy that and then change the opacity down. So then it should blend better. No, that looks exactly the same. Let's see. Oh, have I done it the wrong way? Oh, I did it on the wrong edge. Derp. Okay, derp. No. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay. And then there you. Oh, that's not going to work either, is it? Unless I make a copy of the. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. Figure it out later. That looks fine. I like this. I like that. I like that very much. Except this has got to cover up the. Oh wait, no, this goes in front. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thigh and this boot, and I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to move it to one layer up, so it covers it. There we go. I can move that right behind. Perfect. Make that flush. That's pretty good. That's not a terrible shape right there. Bring it down a bit. All right. And the other one. I'm happy with that. This should be curved. If you don't know how to use Illustrator, I'm sorry. This is I just changed that corner to a curve. Okay, and who are you? Where are you? I'm gonna do the same thing here that I did with that leg. Where I wish to. No! Turn off the. I hate that thing. Where am I? There we go. Because it's going to be, I don't know. I guess our light source is up here. I don't know that it's that important. We don't need a transparency there. We might need to bring that orange back. Where did you go? Yeah, so I'll just copy that. There we go. And I'll shade this, but this knee is kind of in shadow, kind of, because the light's going to come this way. So that's pretty good. What do we think about the top here? Make those straps thinner. This doesn't lay like exactly how it would because her chest is bumpy. but it's fine. I like the curve, so we're gonna leave it. Make her armpit more pitch shaped. This is too pointy. It's rounded off. It's a nice curve. That's a nice curve. I like the angled bicep. It's very nice. The nape of her neck. Let's curve that more. Bring that up. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is just the way I like it, where you see the let me pick a color here. Like the arm isn't straight. It's always they're all bowed, right? Like bowed like that. Which is a style choice. Something that I like. Does that look weird? This is too wide. No, that's the way on the sketch. We're gonna have to slim that up. She is very chesty for a Vietnamese drug addict. Yeah, see, sketch is gone. We're not even following the sketch anymore. We're just doing what looks good. Widen that out, bring that down. Pointy on this side, curved on the other. Sure, why not? Makes sense. All right, I have left a thing out. This flag needs to go further into the background, at least temporarily. So that's darken that. Ah, much better. We'll put a gradient on it. I think it'll be brightly colored. It'll be like bright here and bright here. And then when it goes behind your head, it'll be darker. Make that even more dramatic, shouldn't we? Because this flag is as much a frame as a framing device. It's a frame as much as it is an element of the composition. It's gonna set her apart from the background. Give me more freedom with the background later. That's pretty good. It's too much. I don't know. I think it might be too much detail over here. And put her fingers on later. That belt is giving me. That's not bad. That's not bad. I can live with that. She already has gradients on her arms. No, it has. I think it has to be that way because this is the direction the light is coming from. That color of her hair is probably not going to work. And that gap is, so where is her skin? Her skin is on this layer. So I'm gonna have to add another layer behind this one. What's here? Is that what is this? I don't even know what this is. This is, that's that foot down there. Gotcha. So above that one. I should label these, but I usually don't. Take her hair color. I'm gonna put the hair that's behind her head. Just kind of. And then reduce the color, make it darker. Oops. What'd I do? What'd I do? Oh, nothing. Yeah. Just so you can see there's hair behind her head. We'll add detail to it later as we, or now. So, okay. My favorite Illustrator tool is the this guy down here, the knife. I'm using this is Essentials Classic. It's like the very old Illustrator tool set. In contemporary tool sets, the knife has been removed. I don't know why, because it's the best tool in the world. Basically, you use your brush and you can cut things like that. Nice and geometric, and then take this back here and go back into Pathfinder, close up the seams. Looks pretty good. It doesn't. It looks like the back of her hair is shorter than the front of her hair. So you just draw that out. That's not bad. And put another one over here. That. It's tolerable. What's this gap here? It's a gap. This gap here is a gap. Why is this gap? All right. Bring the sketch back. I gotta do her bandana or her bow, whatever. Which I guess in this version is the same color as her top. Because since it's kind of a monochrome, right? So it's kind of a monochrome. Ordinarily it would be pink, and her hair would be blue, and so it would stand out. But in this one, because it's kind of a monochrome, then just lay that on top. Just lay that on top of her head. Sometime later, I'll probably, or maybe now. I'll grab her bangs. Cut them off. Oh no, what happened to your head? And I'll put those on yet another layer in front of that thing. So now you can, now it doesn't have to bow like that. Now you can be straight and just bring it down underneath. There we go. So it looks normal. And really rough the bow. Which I realize the same color as the background. That's no good. Put the knots here. Oops. Shut up, kitty. Meow. What if it was substantially lighter than the rest of the composition? We'll use the... No, it's got to be some shade of yellow. That? I don't know. That's not good. That's too dark. Maybe like that. I'll figure it out. bow is like curving up like horns, like she's the devil or something. It's metaphorical. The point is to make it look nice. The point is just to bring everything in at this stage because I want to get to the face as soon as possible. Yeah, I know I had it in the sketch where her straps for top are like kind of flying off her, but I don't like that it's touching her hair. I'm gonna bring it down. It's straight, and this one's curved. It's a pretty good curve, not a bad curve. We like that curve. It's a good curve. Okay. Maybe make this one narrower. Oops, nope, not the whole top, just this. We'll put the back on later. And the bow. The bow. Grab the bow. That's not bad. That's not bad. That fits. That fits. You establish like the color palette baseline, and then you can deviate on that theme. What if I made it? What if I made it? Is that too much? Actually, I like that. I like that very much. I'm gonna leave it for now, and then we'll do other stuff. Okay. So face stuff. Again, a face, highest area of detail. Oops. Or area of highest detail, rather. So here's the thing now. I need to come up with a shadow color that is not goofy. A shadow color for yellow. I have like, okay, so here's the palette for Alison Loves Crom, the one where she's cut off Magic Pink's head that I did for Civil War II. I just kind of brought it in here for like, you know, in case I need it. I don't know if I can use much of this though. And you can see I have all the shadow colors and the line colors. They're all set up here as gradients. There's like 30 of them. None of those are going to work for me here. So I'm going to do, you can't see what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is for shadows and stuff, stop moving. For shadows and stuff, that's why I have all these things separate. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to cut it with the knife. So when you see which button? See, like that? You can hold Alt and drag, and it'll make another layer of the thing, right? So make a duplicate layer of the thing, move it back, take the knife, cut where the shadow would be. And the shadow, I love this tool because it's always so wobbly, right? Which means you have to go back and fix it, or you can not go fix it. Nice dynamic shadow. Her neck is going to catch the light here, and this part's going to be in shadow underneath her chin. So, do I have a comparable gradient? That's pink. That's not pink. That's not good. So I'm going to grab that, put that there, knock that down, bring it across. Now I have like transparent pink to orange. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Make it orange to orange. And then reduce that to 30%? That's a pretty good shadow color. I don't hate that. Ooh, I totally forgot her mask. She's wearing a mask. So let's do that again. It's see the plus comes up, right? That's Alt, duplicate, bring it back, and then I'm going to use the I could use the fish knife here, and bring the sketch back up. Bring it there. Make another cut. See how wobbly that is. Then that is her mask, which will be same color as your top for now. That works. Okay. By the way, this is the worst kind of corner to have. The split corner here. I do not like that at all. And I've got 3 of them. So put 2 lines there. And then I convert that back to, oops, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And then make that a curve. Those are fine because I'm not going to mess with them. And then the mask is going to be a little bit bigger than her face, right? It's got to overlap just a bit, so we pull that out. And then I suppose I could round those off and like make the mask go behind her face, but you know, who's really paying attention? Probably nobody. Who's looking? Wait, does this mask go all the way around her head? Nah, probably not. Okay, so what layer is that? That's her face layer. On top of the face, or on top of the skin layer, face skin layer, I'm gonna do another layer that's her for her eyes and stuff. Interesting problem, because in all other versions of Kim, her eyes are yellow. But now her face is yellow, so her eyes cannot be yellow. Unless there's a much lighter color of yellow, like that. That'll do. Where is my, there it is. Remove the sketch. Hey, that was not terrible. There's a problem here though, because most of her face here is in shadow, or at least it should be. So I'm gonna recombobulate the gradient here. So her face, this side of their face is in shadow. Hey, it's coming together. It's coming together. Panic period minimized. I'm going to use the eraser. Smooth that out. I'm leaving that gap because I want to put strands of hair in there over her mask. That's later. I'm going to do that later. That seam is bugging me. It's bugging me. It's bugging me. There's no way anybody can see it in the final, but I can see it, and it's bugging me. Okay, that's fine for now. Oh, let's push it up more. It's fine for now. And maybe push your hair so it covers that up. Make things easier later. We're gonna put a lot of detail into her hair. This is just the base color. Okay, now I need to put a drop shadow, just like I did here, another drop shadow on her face. Below the hair, and there's a couple ways to do that. I can redraw it, I can cut it, with the knife, which would look terrible. Or I can copy this. Did I copy it? I did not. Got the wrong button again. There's a copy. Grab that, push it back. So now it's like one solid thing, right? Control X. Oops. My thing is misbehaving. Cut all those. Now I'm going to also make a duplicate of her face here. There we go. And drop that on top. And then how much drop shadow? About that much. Then grab both of these and do like that. And then do like that. And so that's the... And then, either reduce the opacity of this. Where's my opacity? I can't find my tools. Shouldn't be gradient. Where's the? There it is. There you are. I can change to multiply, which I don't know what that's multiply 20, multiply like 40% is good for shadows usually. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You can't see it really well now, but when I change the color of her hair, when I alter the colors in her hair, you'll be able to see the drop shadow better. The drop shadow goes behind her eyes, which is fine because her eyes are glowing. Now I gotta put the border on her eyes. And for no particular reason, I like to do this with a brush. Where are my brushes? There, that's not the brushes. Where are my brushes? There's my brushes, DARP. And the blob brush. Eyes are super simple. They're just like, there's two things. Oh no. You know what? We're not going to do it with the brush. We're going to do it, and it has to be on the layer above this thing. That's gonna drive me nuts. Wait a minute. This has to be on top of that, and they all have to be on top of the eyes. So. There's no way around it. Okay, we're gonna do it with a pen. And you are misbehaving. There we go. And because they are her eyes, and this is the highest contrast in the piece, I'm going to do an even darker color there. Most contrast right here is between like the outline of her eye and the inside of her eye. That's the lightest color, and this is the darkest color. That came out all wobbly, but I don't know. Sometimes that looks pretty good. I don't hate that. Really dark under circles, because Kim is going to kill you. Absolutely psychotic. And I guess that this. It's gonna bug me because it's supposed to be below her hair. I'll have to figure out a solution to that later. Oh wait, this is below her hair. How to do that? Oh, because I put her bangs all the way up on top, so that works. All right, great. In other compositions I'll do the face much more complex, but Kim is super simple. Super simple. Kim is super simple. Okay. Nope. And then grab the brush again. Grab the brush again. How are my brush? Random? No. Pressure. 15. Oops. 50 is probably too much. And then some eyelashes. Or just do it with a brush. I got the angle wrong on that. I don't want to fix it, so I'll just do it with a brush. Super chunky eyelashes. And those are actually better eyelashes, so I'm gonna remove these. And move those around, transform, reflect. There we go. And now I realize the angle's all goofy, so I'm gonna grab all the. Can I? Yes, I can. Pull it out. And line work is going to be last. Now I realize that her nose bump is not in the middle. So let's fix that. Where is it? I forgot what layer's on. So unlock all the layers. And then because she's drug addicted, pull that out. Find her face layer right there. Find the layer above her face layer right there. And this is going to be a shadow right there, which I'm going to put behind her eyes. There we go. Pull those up. So, yeah, it's not like I'm trying to be special or anything. It's just the way I've always done it. Like go from like opposite of what everybody else does. Like everybody else does like the sketch first and then fills in the color. And like I'm doing the color first, just the color first, and then build up, and do the line work dead last. Where's my? There it is. Multiply. Let's change this to a solid color. There we go. That works. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, and this is I'm kind of digging that. This was an accident. I was not planning that, but I'm digging that. The blue bow on top of the orange. I guess they would call it intensive accenting. I mean, before I end this session, so that's I've gotten to a place where it's tolerable. I don't hate that. That's pretty good. Today went better than most days. I'll do fingers later. Got to do fingers when I'm rested, because fingers have got to look good. Before we stop for today, let's have fun with the bow. Okay, first of all, these are the wrong blues, so those have to go away. These are the right blues. Let's I'm gonna walk around. I don't use very much like the low saturation, so I'm gonna walk around this curve here, doing my colors. So there's the, and then add those to the palette. Now let's do a, that's the right blue. That's, whoops, no, over here, over here. Wait. Yeah. Like that part's in shadow. How do I like that? I don't like it. Nope. It was all better when it was light blue. I'm gonna keep those colors, but I don't think I'm gonna use them very much. Let's try again. What if oops, I forgot to add my blues. Got the blues back. Add a much lighter blue. That's tolerable. I like that. Because it looks like the blue in a fire, right? Right. This would be the color of blue if you were doing if you're burning sterno. Intensive accent. Very intensive accent. Almost white. That's kind of cool. I like that. It's kind of like that. And I'm going to do her hair all fiery. Let's do that now. Those are on the back. Make this a gradient also. Do I have this? Yes, I do. This is almost an orange, but it's like a pink. Like a pink orange. Kind of a salmon color. I like it. So that is the wrong. I want to keep that salmon color. Let's keep that. Let's do a lighter version of that, or darker, or lighter. It would be neat if it went to another color, but I don't know. I don't think I want it to be yellow because your skin's already yellow. What else can I do? I can make it go to a kind of purple because that was part of my color scheme, wasn't it? It was. What color of purple though? What if we do something crazy? What if we did something crazy? What if we did that? Just freaking. They added those in the most recent version. Just tooltips on everything, which I don't need. Gonna add a purple to it. How's that? Ooh. Ooh, he said excitedly like a homosexual. I dig that. I want it to be subtle though. Very subtle. So just at the ends. There we go. I like that. Make sure the direction is right. Like half of my work in Illustrator is like making sure the direction of something, the direction of a gradient is right. If they could make like it so it followed the brush or whatever, that would make my life so much easier. Dig that. And that's the base color. Later on, we will add like individual strands of hair, what have you, and we can pick that purple up again later. And here in the back, same deal, but not the same color of purple. It's got to be a deeper purple. I suppose I could have done purples, but don't want it to stand out, just a lower value. Purples, let's give you a row. You deserve a row of purples. Okay. Oh, my arm's starting to hurt. Right. And yeah. Hot dang. I like that a lot. So the purple being darker value, should it be, is it the ends of her hair that are purple, or is the darker, like, is it like this, or is it like that? I think it's like that. I dig that a lot. Grab you, bring the foreground ones, make sure the direction's right, because it's not. Just at the tippy ends of her hair, it's purple. The tippy ends. Okay. When she's got lines on her face, which we're not going to do right now, but when she's got lines on her face, this is going to look not bad. It's going to look very decent. It's going to look very decent indeed. Where's her mask? Let's finish off her mask, then we'll finish up the session. So, we don't want, because she's got the, canonically, she's a communard. She's a communist, Antifa. She always has the hammer and sickle. Very roughly drawn hammer and sickle on her, which we're just going to freehand. Does the hammer go out here? Does the hammer go in here? I think the hammer goes out here. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that's right. Make it all wobbly, like it's a Jeff K kind of thing. Jeff K from Ren and Stimpy, if you like his rough sketches, right, where it's like background stuff especially. It's all wobbly like this, like it's really simple. Grab those, group them, shrink it down a bit. That's probably wrong. It's probably wrong. Turn it. And we don't want to stick out too much. Yeah, that's good. I think that's wrong. Is that wrong? If it's wrong, I'll fix it later. All right. That's decent. That is acceptable. That went way better than I expected it to. All right, that's good for now. I will pick this up tomorrow, and I'll probably like speed run it, like without explaining, because you get it. Maybe I'll stop, and like when I do line work, because I don't know. What is there to explain about line work? Not a lot. This is the part that's, I don't know, maybe unusual. So that's good. That's good for now. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to shut it off.